another year, and the turkey apocalypse has come and gone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this post-Thanksgiving episode of The Game Changer. Actually, a part one of two that's going to be here to come. Of course, here on Spreaker.com, Podbean.com, Podomatic.com, as well as SoundCloud and on iTunes. I am your host, Nate the Effing Great, joined here by the one, the only, the phenomenon known as Mr. A.J. Jensen. How you feeling, my friend?
I'm feeling much better now. I totally knew you were going to start the show by playing that theme song.
Well, gee, I wonder why. I mean, we're going to definitely talk about that, but, I mean, there's no particular reason as to that. It was just a random song that just happens to be about a woman who really shook up the face and the women's division this past Monday.
No.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just go right into that, because that's also going to tie into a little bit of Smackdown and also some rumors that are going to be concerning Royal Rumble. So what happened on Raw was that there was a deal where Alexa Bliss, she came out and she was saying that she was getting a lot of tweets from people saying that, oh, well, unfortunately, so many fans were saying, well, we're sorry that, you got hurt, we're sorry that you lost, we're sorry that you came up short, which came up with the most iconic deal where she says, I didn't appreciate that last one. I'm like, damn it. Even when the fans try to troll her, she just finds a way to just be like, yeah, no, thanks, it's not going to work on me. Eventually what happens is that we get Mickie James, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Alicia Fox out, and they all want a claim at the women's title. Kurt Angle says, okay, we're going to have ourselves a Fatal 4 matchup. And what did we expect? Well, I think we were expecting that something horrible was going to end up happening. It's like, oh, here we go. Probably Bayley's going to get a win, or Sasha Banks, or Alicia Fox. Okay, that'd be interesting. Mickie James, totally fine with that, as long as we don't get the old deal going on. Then we hear Paige's theme music hit. She comes out, basically says, I'm back. And everybody's just losing their shit. I lost my shit. And I knew as soon as this happened, I thought, well, damn, I need to have AJ on the show because we're going to be definitely talking about the fact that she's back. But she didn't come alone. She goes down to the ring, and who comes out? Miss Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And what do? Literally, they just beat the living hell out of everybody. They took out Mickie James. They took out Sasha. Alicia Fox, well, she ran away like a dog with a case of the limber tail. And then Bayley just eats a nice little page turner. And we got a new faction on Raw, apparently. Totally okay with that. Especially considering then Alexa Bliss just comes in and is like, oh, nice job. Great job. It's nice to meet you guys. And then, boop, she gets taken out. So, first things first, Paige is finally back. Thank God. Took them long enough.
Yeah, it was really weird because she'd been gone for so long and kind of was going down this downward spiral with her life. And I know she's been very open about that. Telling people, like, yeah, it was like a downward spiral, and she had all this bad shit happen, and I believe she was out with a neck injury. I believe she had had neck surgery to fix something, which is why she was gone for, like, one of the reasons she was gone for so long. And, plus, like, all, the stuff with her sex tape and her pictures got leaked, and all the crap with Del Rio, and I kind of lost my love for Paige, which obviously anyone who knows me knows that Paige has, since she was in NXT, was probably one of my favorite people in the women's division since Lita, and I kind of lost it with her, and Alexa Bliss has been my new women's crush in WWE, and I've been a fan of hers also since she was in NXT, and I kind of was just like, you know what, Paige is gone. It's gonna gonna be okay. Things are fine. You know, I met her. All my friends are jealous because I got a kiss from Paige on the cheek at Comic-Con, which, of course, I changed my profile picture to that picture again on Facebook. And as soon as her music hit, all of those feelings for Paige came back. And as soon as I saw her, I was just like, yes. Like, I really did miss her. And so did the crowd. Good God. That place went ape shit. Like, that place went absolutely nuts. I don't know if I have heard the crowd go that crazy or anyone in the women's division, like, ever. And, yeah, and then she comes out and, you know, I'm not alone, and then the NXT girls come in and they just decimate everyone. But this, like, now this is the technical side of me. Like, this is a fatal four-way match. Why was the referee ringing the bell for disqualification? There's no rules.
You know, I don't know. I think it was just because they were in the heat of the moment, and they knew that everything was just basically going to go right out of hell. And plus, I think so many people would have been complaining more about the fact that, oh, well, if Alicia Fox just snuck back in and pinned one of them and just became the number one contender or something like that. I don't know. I see where you're coming from, but to me, I was just so into the moment of seeing, you know, Paige back, and then Mandy Rose, who I honestly think she's good in the ring. Is she amazing? Not quite there yet, but I can at least, you know, tolerate her more than I could tolerate other people. And Sonya Deville, right out of the bat, when she debuted in NXT, I was just like, oh, geez, she looks like she could literally kill me. Then I watched her wrestling. Okay, she could literally kill me. Okay, this is awesome. And although I think the weird thing was that I think that I made the joke that when she first came on, she had the name of Daria. I'm like, wouldn't it be crazy if, like, Dario Cueto came out as, like, her manager, and somehow they made, like, a family tie where it's like Daria and Dario Cueto, and it's like, that'd be too cheesy. Oh well, it was still one of those things where it's like, oh, that's a fantasy. But yeah, Sonya Deville getting in there, just, oh my gosh, when all three of them debuted, jeez.
They decimated everyone, and yeah, like, to your point, yeah, I mean, I get what they were doing there with just having them take everyone out and Alicia Fox run off. I mean, obviously, there's no way to have a winner in that situation. I think the winner was us, the fans, and Paige. Even the two NXT girls too. That is, like, one hell of a way to make a return for Paige, and one hell of a way to make a debut for those two. And it was a great moment. It's definitely probably my favorite moment on Raw this week. And it was actually really, I thought overall Raw was really good this week. Like, really good.
Yeah. I actually did say that it was probably, like, the best post Raw of any event in quite a while, because a lot of times when they do have, like, post Raws after big events or after their pay-per-views, it's like, well, we're going to deal with some random monotonous BS. This one, yeah, like you said, it was like, oh, well, where has this Raw been? I like it.
Yeah, I think to what you're saying, that was probably the best post Raw show since SummerSlam.
Yeah, I definitely do.
The Raw after SummerSlam was pretty good. Actually, that Raw after SummerSlam, a lot of people were like, they thought that Raw was better than the Raw after Mania, which everyone knows the Raw after Mania is, like, probably, like, the best Raw of the year. And that SummerSlam, or the Raw after SummerSlam this year, like, rivaled that, like, equaled the Raw after Mania. So this is a really good Raw too.
Yeah, definitely. We're also going to transition a little bit into what happened on Smackdown as well. because Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville were not the only NXT women that got called up to the main roster. In fact, 3 other women were actually called up to the SmackDown roster, that being Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and God help me, Liv Morgan. Okay, so, question. Am I one of the many people that look at both of these 6 women that impacted both Raw and SmackDown and thought, why was there no variety with these women when it came down to it? Because you basically had a rebel, a blonde, and how I called it, like an MMA enthusiast, or maybe like a technician, I guess you could say, or just a bit of a brawler, because Sonya and Sarah Logan are a little bit more of the, tougher brawler type style. I just don't get why they basically copied and pasted Raw and put it on SmackDown. I mean, is it just me?
No, and that's exactly what it is. It's like if you were working on Microsoft Word, 2016, 2017 edition, and you wrote 3 words down, and you literally just dragged the cursor over it, right-clicked copy, and then went right underneath it and hit paste. That's exactly what they did in this situation. The only difference is the how they debuted them was a little bit different. On Raw, they had the girls come out and do the beatdown. On SmackDown, Ruby Riott just shows up backstage. Who was it, Natalia? That was getting interviewed?
Yeah, it was Natalia, I believe.
And Ruby Riott just shows up and starts laying the boots to Natalia, and then the other 2 girls just show up. And I don't think it was as impactful as how it happened on Raw, because it was backstage. It definitely had an impact for sure, but I think girls on Raw did it better just because it's the middle of a match, and I don't know. It's just
Yeah, it's just really.
It's kind of hard. I'm having trouble, probably because it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I've only been up for like 20 minutes, so I haven't really got my brain started yet. I don't have any caffeine in me, but I think it was also less impactful because we just saw this 24 hours ago, and we're kind of scratching our heads like, they just did this on Raw. What is going on? And I'm trying to think, blows my mind. Why were these girls called up, but Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, who have been killing it in NXT lately, still down there? I don't know if they have a longer running plan down in NXT for Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, but and maybe some of these girls were just kind of, we don't know what to do with them. Maybe let's just do this. But I'm like, there's a lot of people that, like those 2 specifically in NXT, were just killing it for a long time. And me and Chris talk about they're this generation's Lay Cool. If you remember Michelle McCool and Layla.
Of course.
That's exactly what those 2 remind me of. It's just a modern version of Lay Cool. And it works for them. They do great. And I don't understand why they weren't called up. Maybe they're going to get called up separately and keep, the kind of Lay Cool thing going instead of throwing them into like a 3-person stable. But who knows? We'll see where it goes. But I definitely think the women on Raw made the impact much greater than they did on SmackDown. I guess the whole reasoning behind all of this for Raw and SmackDown, Vince McMahon thought the women's division on both shows has just been stale. both shows.
Yeah, I do agree. That was probably one of the decisions, and I do want to talk about a lot of things that Vince McMahon has vocalized over this past week in just a bit. But I think another reason why they were doing this, and this is on the rumor mill, is that they want to start getting more women up to the roster to do a female Royal Rumble, which that's, oh boy. If they do that at the same Royal Rumble event, that's, what's the right word for this? Overkill. Because we're already going through a 30-man men deal where we're already hoping for, great suspense, eliminations, and, cautious or, close eliminations and stuff like that. And you're telling me that you want to try and do 2 Rumbles in one night. Yeah, I'm not okay with that. I mean, if they want to do the Women's Royal Rumble at a different night, that's fine. But if they're doing it in the same night, unless the Women's Rumble is in like the pre-show, I see no point in putting it on the same card as the actual Royal Rumble itself.
I disagree with you. I think that would be amazing. I think if they came out and did maybe a 20 person women's Royal Rumble and a 30-person men's, I think that'd be perfectly fine. We'll have maybe 3 title matches, possibly. Royal Rumble will probably be 4 hours again this year. So, 30-man Royal Rumble, give that about an hour, maybe a little bit more. 20 women Royal Rumble, give that 45, 30. So you're looking at almost half the show right there. That gives you 2 hours to fill the rest of the card, what I'm assuming would be title matches. So you can have a couple, Intercontinental title, United States title, World Champ, any of that kind of type of stuff. I'd be all for it. They are really, really pushing to break boundaries with the women's division this last year or two. First Hell in a Cell match, first Money in the Bank match, which I'm sorry, it was an absolute fucking train wreck. And why would they not push for the first Women's Royal Rumble? And they have enough, I think, at this point to do it. And 20, I think the number 20 sounds about right. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking there's got to be 20 women at least between both shows. And I also heard a rumor that Women's Royal Rumble was one reason, but they also, I heard, want to do a women's tag team division.
I'd be okay with that. I would totally be fine with that.
Which would be another thing, just pushing the boundaries for the women's division again. Is developing a women's tag team, which we haven't seen in a long time. Santina Morella and Beth Phoenix those are the last 2 women's tag team champions I can remember. Weren't they?
No, I don't think they were tag team champions. You might be thinking of Eric Young and ODB.
No, I'm talking in WWE. They had a women's tag team, right?
Yeah, that was, I want to say that was like maybe years ago, like back in the early days, I think when maybe Vince Sr. was still running the promotion.
No, they had it recently, like early 2000s, because I swear they had women's tag team champions.
Well, that's going to be something I'm probably going to have to look up, but Not to my knowledge. I mean, you could be right, but I do not recall a women's tag team division or tag team titles for the women in a long time. Like I said, I'm thinking more like towards, I want to say, like the 80s and 90s when they actually had, I think, more women to work with. But as of in the year 2000s, 2010s, I'm drawing a blank. I got nothing really right now. So who knows? But either way, I'd be up for a tag team division in the women's division. That'd be pretty cool. I'd be interested in seeing how they would work the tag team.
They didn't actually have the championship. It's late 80s, actually, according to Wikipedia, so I was wrong. Maybe they were just a tag team then. Oh, no. Santina was women's champion and was tag teaming with Beth Phoenix, I think, or something like that. For 2012, I believe they said it was rumored that they were going to bring back the women's tag team titles. 2012, but it didn't happen. But let's fucking go ahead and do that right now.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so we still got quite a bit more to talk about for both Raw and SmackDown. So Monday Night Raw, like you said, was a really good show. It kicked off with probably one of the best well, actually, no, I shouldn't say the best segments, but one of the best ways to start a show. First, we get Stephanie McMahon coming out. Stephanie McMahon, she can inflate and she can deflate her boobs because she can. So, yeah, Stephanie McMahon comes out. She comes out, says, "Yay, Raw won. It's all because of my husband, Triple H." Triple H comes out again. He just, very quiet, very manly, like, yeah, ready to go. Then we have Kurt Angle come out and says, "If you try to screw me again, I won't care about this job because I will be breaking your neck, or I'll be breaking your ankle." That's right. And then Jason Jordan comes out and says, "I want a shot at Triple H. I want to, beat his ass for giving me a pedigree last week." And then out comes the savior, Braun Strowman, who just comes out and says, "I want a shot at Triple H." And Triple H this is one of the first segments I've ever seen him say absolutely nothing. He basically pulled a Joey Mercury, where he's just standing there, says nothing. Then Braun comes out and he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm getting out of the ring." Stephanie McMahon makes a match between Braun Strowman and Jason Jordan. That match went on for like 2 minutes, roughly, because Jason Jordan's leg was hurt. And then out comes somebody who screws up the match because it's gotta be Kane. He hits Braun Strowman with a steel chair, and I honestly thought he hit him in the face with the chair. I'm like, oh, Vince McMahon, he's going to say that's a no-no. But then we see Braun Strowman get his neck crushed by Kane with the chair onto the steel steps. And first of all, that's not PG. And second of all, Braun Strowman is basically going up the ramp, refusing medical attention. And I said it on Monday. It's hard to hear Braun Strowman go from his, big lion, roar, to him just going from, wheezing and coughing because Kane wrecked his throat. That was just, that was one of those moments where I'm like, oh, geez, this might be even too much for me. This is actually kind of scary. But I don't know, what were your thoughts on the whole thing? I guess we could say the Braun angle, to say the least.
You kind of left something out here. Jason Jordan came out, and he was basically telling Triple H, like, yeah, try and pedigree me now. And he was the one who said, I want Triple H in a match tonight. And that's when Stephanie goes, oh, you're not even on his level. You think he's afraid of you? He's not afraid of you. He's damn sure not afraid of anyone back in that locker room. That's when Braun Strowman's music hit. And he comes out, and he didn't even say anything. He literally just walked and got right in Triple H's face. I thought they were going to kiss at one point. I think Braun Strowman's nose was on Triple H's forehead, and I think Triple H's nose was in Braun Strowman's mouth. honestly, it seemed like a lifetime, but it was probably about a minute. And then you see Triple H slowly back off, and he gets on the apron. And Braun Strowman takes like one step forward towards the ropes. Triple H drops down off the apron. And I don't know what they're doing with that, because I really thought they were going to start the Kurt Angle Triple H feud with what happened at Survivor Series, but then they had the Braun Strowman stuff, which okay, well, which way are they going? Are they starting Braun Strowman and Triple H, or are they starting Braun Strowman and Kurt Angle? Because if you're starting one, why do the other? If you're starting the feud with Kurt Angle, why have that moment with Braun Strowman? And then again on Raw. If you're going into the Kurt Angle, it doesn't make any sense. Or if you're starting something with Braun Strowman, why? I guess if they're doing something with Braun Strowman, unless what he did to Kurt Angle is the reason Braun Strowman gets heat with Triple H, and they start maybe I can see that, why that happened at Survivor Series, but I don't know. We'll have to see where it goes from here. Kind of confused on the whole situation as to who he's feuding with now, because it seems like 3 people want Triple H right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. But it also does create for more interesting television, because, like you said, now people are going to be tuning in next week and say, who's going to go after Triple H? Is it going to be Jason Jordan? Is it going to be Kurt Angle? Is it going to be Braun Strowman? Although, with what happened on Raw, I think that Braun Strowman's going to be now refocusing his attention back on Kane. But I think that's going to happen. So.
Yeah, no, you're right. I totally just spaced about that. But yeah, that makes sense. As far as with what happened with Kane and Braun Strowman, I don't know why. I guess it's early. I don't even have caffeine in me. My brain's not functioning on all cylinders right now. But Kane just giving the business to Braun Strowman after that match with Jason Jordan, and crushing his throat with the steel chair, so Raw before Survivor Series, Braun Strowman just decimates Kane, and then power slams him through the ring. This week on Raw, Braun Strowman gets decimated with a steel chair. They are basically trying to say, look, both these guys are monsters. We're going to get one hell of a match out of these two, I think. Possibly go more than one. I don't know. Kane and Braun Strowman sounds really good on paper.
It'll be interesting to see where they go from here. I think that with what they've been doing with, Braun Strowman and Big Show over this past year has been great. Been a lot of great exhibition style matches, including that match with them in the cage. Now they got Braun Strowman and Kane. It's going to be interesting to see where they go. And I think you're probably right. I think
they're trying to solidify Braun Strowman as this generation's big man.
Mission accomplished, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. I'm trying to think. Anything else major that happened on Raw? Well,
Intercontinental Championship.
Yep. I was just about to go into that. Intercontinental. Well, there's a reason behind it. Well, there's 2 reasons behind it, apparently. But let's just get into the matchup itself. Miz took on Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental title. It all started with a Miz TV segment where Miz just came out, of course, just basically saying, even though I lost, whatever. Baron Corbin's, on the back burner right now. And he basically says, introduce to you Roman Reigns. And this went on, 3 times. I'm like, any time now. Did some guy forget to hit their music, or what's going on? Then out comes the Shield. And they just come out, and Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose are saying, we're hell-bent on getting our tag team titles back. And Roman he's like that awkward kid in the conversation, just saying like, "Well, I don't want to feel left out, but I'm not gonna have a title if you guys have a title." And then Seth Rollins just basically turns his head and just says, "Look, Miz has got a title." And Roman's just like, "I like that title. I'm free tonight. What about you, big man?" And then they announced the Intercontinental title matchup, which, all honesty, I thought was pretty enjoyable. I actually liked it. I thought that
the match was really good.
One of the better showcases of Roman Reigns. That's definitely for sure.
Really good.
Yeah, it took
a lot of people, I think, forget how good the Miz actually is, because he's always running his mouth, and when he wins, because he's a heel, he'll get the heel victory, and I think a lot of people forget how good he actually is in that ring. We saw that out of him on Monday night. And I think we've seen how far Roman Reigns has come. I think we've seen how far he's come in that match on Monday night, because Roman on his own was very good in that match against The Miz. And I don't think I've seen Roman Reigns that good in a one-on-one match. I put that up there with like his matches with AJ Styles. I thought he was really good in those matches, and I thought he was really, really good. And there's a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people saying, "Wow, this Roman Reigns match and this Roman Reigns and Miz match is fucking awesome." And that says a lot about both guys.
It really does. Miz has just been improving as years have gone by, and Roman's doing just the same. And the fact, I think that these guys clashed at the right time, at the right place, just shows you that they are definitely this generation's, superstars to watch out for. But in the end, one spear from Roman, 1, 2, 3. We got a new Intercontinental Champion. And he is the second member of the Shield to be a Grand Slam champion. Everybody was just saying, he's Grand Slam, Grand Slam. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Holy shit. That means that Seth Rollins, you need to step up your game there, buddy. Seth Rollins, no disrespect. Please don't come after me and just scream my head off. I know how you are at gaming and you are amazing. Anyway, so 2 reasons as to why they did that seemingly was that, and there probably is another one that you'll probably mention that I might have forgotten. One is that they did announce that Miz was going to be taking time off to shoot some movies. Does this mean we're getting the Marine 6 or 7? Maybe. Who knows? And the other reason, of course, is that they mentioned that Roman's going to start doing a Open Intercontinental title invitational deal, the Open Intercontinental Challenge. This I thought, well, geez, why couldn't they have done this with the Intercontinental title a long time ago? It's already prestigious as is, but now they're doing it in this way. It's like, well, now they're going to make it more prestigious. Yeah, the U.S. title is going to be a defunct championship by like late 2018. I'm probably calling it right now, because there's no way that they could top what the Intercontinental title has brought in the last, I want to say, few years, whether it be with The Miz or, yeah, The Miz. I'm trying to think if there was like any other really great Intercontinental.
Did Dean Ambrose have it?
Yeah, but I don't think that we're gonna count him too much, because I don't remember him really doing too much with it. Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I mean, well, he didn't do anything with it. Like, let's be honest. The last 2 years, The Miz made the Intercontinental Championship relevant again.
Definitely agree.
And another rumor I heard is they might have given him time off to be with Maurice while she's pregnant.
Yeah, it's best. It's best to do that. I mean, she was there at Survivor Series for a Miz's match with Baron Corbin, which, for me, I watched that and I thought, damn it, there goes my victory. And then Baron Corbin hits the end of days. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I win. I win. So, yeah, the match itself, like we said, was good. It was a great way to end Monday Night Raw. And it's really sad that we're going to lose The Miz for a few weeks, maybe even a good month, maybe, depending on how far Maurice is along. Who knows? But all I know is that when Maurice has her baby, he's going to be like, yep, nope, she's my first priority right now, so.
Well, I don't know if that's the exact reason why he's off. Maybe just he's filming a movie or something. But either way, Raw's not going to be the same without The Miz if he's gone. And apparently, not only did he lose the Intercontinental title, apparently after Raw went off the air, he grabbed the mic and talked a bunch more shit and received another beatdown by the Shield.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which that to me was like, okay, Miz is going to be gone for a while. Like, that's his kind of, for the time being, send off.
Yeah, because usually some people don't recover from the Shield's, beatdowns. Unless, of course, your name is Shane McMahon. Jeez Louise, that did piss me off. It's like, dude, you took 2 power bombs and an angle slam. You should not be walking right now. Your spine should be like...
Like, I wonder, too, so if Miz is gone for a while, what are they going to do with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel?
Maybe they'll keep them as a tag team. I don't know. I mean,
that's another awesome thing. Putting those two with The Miz. Not only did The Miz make the Intercontinental title relevant again, he helped make Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel relevant again. And I think, to be fair, in all honesty, those two by themselves should be relevant either way. Both are very talented in the ring. Both are very, very horribly used by WWE. Fucking Curtis Axel is Mr. Perfect's son, and you're keeping him a lower mid-card, like at best. And that is a fucking crime against the heading name. And Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt on multiple occasions has said, I don't know what they're doing with him. He's better in the ring than I am, and they're not using him to his full potential. And so it was good. Like they got the Miz Siraj and they're doing the stuff with the Miz. But like I said, I'm just curious to see what they're going to do with them now if the Miz is gone for a while. Because I think it'd be a crying shame if they just get thrown back on the back burner again.
Well, who knows? Maybe they'll join up with Heath Slater and Rhino, and they'll do Social Outcast 2. Just without...
God, no.
Oh, come on. That was a great tag team faction until they did absolutely nothing with them. Okay, I see your point. All right. Well, another person that actually has been very misused, as we mentioned before many occasions, has been Finn Balor, who had a great match with Samoa Joe this past week. Just absolutely, wow. Just the finish where Samoa Joe locks in the Coquina Clutch, and Finn Balor, it looks like he's about to get out. Nope. But there's a rumor that's been going around that the original idea for Royal Rumble was to have Finn Balor take on Brock Lesnar. And apparently those plans have actually been scrapped because Vince McMahon has said that Finn Balor is not over. He's not going to be too far over by Royal Rumble when Brock Lesnar comes back. And I don't know if you've seen a lot of Finn Balor's responses where he's, I think, done a lot of things.
The Thanksgiving tweet yesterday was fucking hilarious.
I am not
I'm
over.
not over cooking the Thanksgiving.
Oh,
him and his fucking oven mitts holding the fucking turkey up with a giant smile on his face.
oh
Vince
man.
McMahon is fucking stupid if he doesn't think Finn Balor is over. He
Yeah.
has lost. Like, that's it. Okay. Like, that's it. Vince McMahon he does not think Finn Balor is over. God damn it, Vince, you have finally lost touch with wrestling. If you fucking don't think Finn Balor is over, you are a crazy old man and you belong in a home.
Yep. You're
I
not.
don't think Finn Balor's over, huh? Get fucked. God, what the fuck? Does he hear the crowd every time Finn Balor comes out?
Apparently not. Apparently he needs to get a new hearing aid.
Apparently. Turn that fucking bell tone up, Vince.
Yeah, and I loved the other picture. And you hit the nail on the head about, the crowd getting behind Finn Balor. He had another one where he said something like, when people don't think that I am over. And there's just like a picture at the bottom of him doing that, famous pose during his entrance. And like the whole crowd is just going absolutely apeshit. It's like, yeah, the fact that he's making jokes about this and he's got proof that he is over, that's kind of hard to overlook there, Vince, if you think he's not over. But apparently Vince likes the idea of putting in Brock Lesnar versus John Cena or Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, which, I don't know. I think Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins would be a pretty decent matchup. But at the same time, I still want Finn Balor to get his damn rematch. He said it for a long time, and he still say it until he gets his rematch. He said, I never lost the title. I never got a fair one-on-one rematch. When's it going to happen? And didn't we kind of talk about this where the build-up to, I think it was Extreme Rules, where Paul Heyman came out and basically said that Finn Balor was like the most likely opponent that he wants Brock Lesnar to face?
Yeah, I think so. But, I mean, I don't know, like, he had a whole thing where he was saying, like, that, but then that's basically because, like, then he said, because we didn't want him to fight Samoa Joe or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's fucking stupid that Vince doesn't think Finn is over. That blows my fucking mind. Like, and Vince wants Cena and Lesnar at Royal Rumble. Who the fuck wants to see that?
Well, we've already seen it 7 times, so...
Nobody wants to see Brock Lesnar and John Cena again.
Yeah, I'm good.
I repeat, nobody wants to see John Cena and Brock Lesnar again.
Yeah,
God,
no.
This is stupid.
I think we've established
Please
that.
let Hunter fucking run the company. Please.
Let Hunter run the company because he knows what he's doing. Don't believe us? Watch NXT. Because reasons. So, yeah.
Did you see Dave Meltzer gave his match ratings for NXT and Survivor Series?
I did see that. What were your thoughts on that?
The Survivor Series match was a 1.75. I think.
Yeah, I think it was like 1.75, 1.2 or something like that. It was low. I think it was even I think it was even lower than the women's matchup. I think the main reason why people have been really picky about the men's Survivor Series matchup is that they're pissed off about the whole deal about Nakamura and Bobby Roode getting eliminated early, and that it was all about the guys who were just there, have been there for a long time. The thing about me is that when I watched that matchup, I was, of course, like a lot of other fans, I got to see Nakamura and Triple H lock horns. I got to see Bobby Roode and Triple H, which was absolutely amazing. Randy Orton and Samoa Joe. John Cena and Samoa Joe. Wait, okay. Samoa Joe took 2 attitude adjustments to get eliminated, so I don't think that Samoa Joe got buried at all. And the fact that Nakamura and Bobby Roode got eliminated by Braun Strowman, they did not get buried. With the whole thing with Triple H, yeah, it was kind of stupid, but the payoff was Braun Strowman just beat his ass. And I actually found a video of what happened after Survivor Series went off the air, which I literally just cried of laughter, where Triple H is just trying to get up. He's doing his, pose of just like his arms going, yeah, and he just falls backwards. Then there's another video of him trying to get up. Stephanie's got him up, but he just falls face first. And then a third video where he's just basically trying to go up the entrance ramp, and he hits like the entrance thing that's already up there. That was
where he hits the fucking like the entrance screen.
Literally everybody just busts a gut. It's like, wow, I hate you, Triple H, for making this all about you, but at the same time, I love these comedic moments. They're just absolutely awesome.
It just reminded me of that video of Triple H doing the best sell job ever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The tag match. I think it was him and HBK against Flair and Orton. And he goes off the middle turnbuckle and takes the big boot, and he just kind of leans back, and he's just like in that stunned trance. And then you get Shawn Michaels like climbing up on the ropes, like trying to like knock him down, like by blowing wind at him and shit, like trying to blow him over. And it just reminded me, I was like, Jesus Christ, Triple H, he could sell anything, man.
He could sell water to a dead fish, and it'll still work. I love the other video that he had of where he was teaming up with the Shield. I think it was during the European tour or something like that. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose do like a dive, and then Triple H just goes to the middle ropes, like he's just jumping out, and he's just like, oh well. And he just goes after Bray Wyatt. I'm like, okay, I guess that's a Shield moment for the night. That works. He's just like, oh wait, I can't do a suicide dive. Oh well. Make it work. It's just, man. So the other thing to talk about with SmackDown is that obviously during the Survivor Series matchup, Shane McMahon is pissed off because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn basically tried to screw him out of it. And so many people were saying it took about 20 years for this to finally happen, but two Canadians screw a McMahon at Survivor Series. Literally, it's like, oh, that's right. I'm totally okay with that. So Shane McMahon tries to fire Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for what they did, but Daniel Bryan's like, yeah, no. Do you realize, that we would be losing two of our top stars? So instead, they basically makes it like, firing you would just be too easy. We're going to put you in a lumberjack match between them and the New Day. And just the moment, those comedic moments backstage where Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are just talking to guys like Baron Corbin and Bobby Roode, just saying like, yo, man, we're basically getting shafted. Is there any way you can help out? Baron Corbin just does like a cane deal. It's like, you guys are on your own. And Bobby Roode's like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. You guys suck. And then we get, speaking of which, we get a feud with Bobby Roode and Baron Corbin, it looks like. Totally okay with that. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn pick up a victory over the New Day. Sami Zayn just gets the piss beat out of him. And then we see Kevin Owens basically plead like, don't fire us. Daniel Bryan says, okay, I'm not going to fire you, but I'm going to put you in a match next week against Randy Orton. Totally okay with that. Again, totally okay with that. But I want to get your thoughts on the whole deal that happened with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn this past Tuesday on SmackDown.
I liked it. I liked what they did at Survivor Series. I didn't even think about the two Canadians screwing a McMahon at Survivor Series. That is, like, when you just said that, I kind of peed a little out of excitement. Because that is fucking hilarious. No, it's funny. So, yeah, obviously, mentioning the Montreal Screwjob with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. Was that 97?
Yep, Survivor Series 97.
So, funny, yet true story. I was in high school for that match, 97. I think I was the Survivor Series is in November. I was probably a junior in high school, maybe sophomore. There was across where one of the radio DJs was a huge wrestling fan. So we had wrestling trivia and Wrestling Survivor Series trivia. Question was like who was like I can't even honestly remember what the question was. I want to say the answer was something to do with like Sid. I think the answer was Sid Justice. And,
okay.
I can't remember what the question was, but I called and I was the first person to answer it. So I won like a bunch of free shit, and one of them is the official Survivor Series WWF T-shirt for that year. I still have the fucking T-shirt.
Damn.
It's like folded up, and I was like, you know what? I was gonna get rid of it, but then I was like, I looked at the year, I'm like, I can't get rid of this shirt. That's the Montreal Screwjob year. Like, I have to keep this shirt forever because that is like the most like iconic Survivor Series ever. Like, when people say Survivor Series, they think Montreal Screwjob. So yeah, that's kind of a funny segue there, but still have that T-shirt folded up somewhere. It's in a box, but I was like, yeah, I'm not getting rid of this. Too many memories to get rid of that one. Sorry, Goodwill. But yeah, I love Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Did you see? I posted a video yesterday. Someone finally did it. They did the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, where they dressed him up in the Funkadactyl outfits and gave him the Funkadactyl entrance.
Oh God.
On WWE 2K18.
Oh man.
It was so goddamn funny. Yeah, as far as what happened on Smackdown, I was really happy they got the victory. Of course, Kevin Owens had to watch as Sami Zayn got brutally torn apart in the middle of that ring by the New Day afterwards, and him begging Daniel Bryan, "Don't fire us, please, please." I really hope, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn get like another push, because were we just talking about it like last week or something? Like Kevin Owens is still one of the best talents on SmackDown.
He really is, and Sami Zayn has just been underutilized and underrated for even longer, because he came in to NXT as El Generico, and then he took off the mask and he just became this lovable babyface in Sami Zayn. Just, the fact that they're, paired together and they are legitimately best friends really makes it just that much more of a credible and great tag team for the two of them. Probably one of the greatest Canadian tag teams in quite a while. Probably next to the Hart Foundation. I would say Team Canada, but I'm thinking, no, Team Canada, they got nothing on the Hart Foundation or on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
How about the greatest friendship of all time, Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens?
Oh, jeez, I'm a stupid idiot I'm going to write myself on the list for that. Damn it.
Speaking of Kevin Owens, did you watch the WWE 365 on Kevin Owens?
I did, actually. I loved it.
Really good. That was so good. It made me appreciate Kevin Owens like 10 times more, because that was a really good show. Like, I think one of my favorite parts is when he won the Universal title, and of course he was happy, but he wasn't happy. Because he was like, this isn't mine. This is Finn Balor's. Like, this is his title. It's not mine. And, for the fact, like, that, obviously they're friends in real life, but it's like, he was that concerned about his friend and cared that much about him that he gets the world title, or the Universal title, and it's like, it's still not mine. It's Finn's. Like, really like humble of him, and you know, like you see the Kevin Owens on TV, and you're like, he would never be like that. He would never say that, but you know, like you get to see like the real Kevin Owens, like the real person who is Kevin Owens. You know. So if anyone who's listening has not watched the 365 on Kevin Owens, I suggest you go out and do that as soon as possible. Really good show.
Definitely full-heartedly agree. It's definitely worth watching. It definitely really, you know, gives you more of a better perspective on Kevin Owens outside of the ring, because you hit the nail on the head. After, you know, winning the Universal title, it showed that he was still not quite happy. As things went on, it still felt like he was not happy with everything that he was going with. The whole thing at WrestleMania, where him and Chris Jericho had a pretty good matchup, Kevin Owens went up to Vince and he just said, are we good? And Vince just says, no. And just hearing that and hearing, you know, Kevin Owens' reaction, as well as things where it shows that he cares about what people think about his matches. And, oh God, even the brutal Twitter bashing that Kevin Owens and AJ got for their Battleground matchup. Because I saw so many of the tweets, I'm like, oh geez, I forgot how brutal that was. Where people were just like, you know, what the fuck was this? And what, that was the finish? Are you kidding me? What the shit? What on earth is going on? This sucks. It's like, wow. I forgot how brutally honest people can be on the internet. But then again, I shouldn't be surprised. And then just seeing, you know, the matchup that he had with AJ Styles brought some good memories. And then he talked about the text that he got from Stone Cold. He said, watch that matchup. Loved it. And where Kevin Owens was just like, oh, I'm still not happy. And then he gets that text. It's like, you know, I'm really happy right now. That's totally fine. For him to get, you know, props from a legend like Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's hard to think negative after that.
Yeah, you know, just like you said, he was going through this period of time where he was, you know, he'd go up to Vince, you know, ask Vince, like, how was the match? And he got, like, the Jericho match at WrestleMania, and he's like, are we good? And he's like, no. And he basically said, that wasn't anything, that wasn't what we were looking for at all, like, not even close. And then, yeah, the matches with AJ Styles, the first one, and he was like, he felt bad. And then he has a really good match, and Vince is like, yeah, we're good. That's exactly what we were looking for. And like you said, he's like, I kind of still feel crappy. And then to get that validation from a legend like Stone Cold, and he's like, you know what, I'm good. Yeah, really, really good show. Like I said, I highly suggest if anyone listening hasn't watched it, go watch it as soon as possible. You'd be glad you did. You might even look at Kevin Owens in a whole new light. I know I do. I love those behind-the-scenes shows. I really love those. You get to see the person behind the character, and I think it makes you appreciate them so much more, especially if you don't even really like them, and maybe something will click with someone, you know, watching and say, oh, you know, I never knew that about this person. Maybe I should not be so harsh on them. You get to see the real people, and you know, I think a lot of people, if they don't like Kevin Owens, if they watch that, they might look at him in a whole new light and change their opinions. But yeah, it's really great television. I give props to the people that put those shows together, because they do a phenomenal job.
They really do indeed. So we are just about to wrap it up here on this episode of The Game Changer, you guys. Before we go, final thoughts on the world of wrestling this week, Mr. AJ?
There's something I want to bring up real quick.
All right.
I didn't catch this, but I heard something on Twitter. Somebody I want to say either on Smackdown or Survivor Series, did they say that the Usos were having a super kick party?
Yeah, I think they were saying that at Survivor Series, and the joke of the...
Because the Young Bucks' response was great. It was simply cease and desist. Which I thought was fucking hilarious. I was like, yo, wow, like, brilliant response. Just cease and desist. And at first, I got the update on my phone, like what had happened. I just saw cease and desist. I didn't put it together. It wasn't until I saw someone on Twitter saying, like, yeah, they said, like, Survivor Series or something, we were supposed to be having a Super Kick party, and the Young Bucks response was brilliant. It was simply cease and desist. I lost my shit. It's hilarious. I just want to bring that up quick because, yeah, obviously, WWE and their cease and desist with the Young Bucks doing the Too Sweet and, you know, the Suck It. But yeah, I thought Raw and SmackDown Raw was really, really good this week. SmackDown was good as well. I don't think it was as good as Raw, but it was a good SmackDown. And we're just keep the ball rolling now. Survivor Series is done. We're rolling up here December, the next couple pay-per-views. Then we got the Royal Rumble. Then it's WrestleMania, baby.
Indeed. But before we go to even Royal Rumble, we still have Alpha versus Omega. God help us all.
That's going to be one of those nights where, God, what is that? Is that like a Thursday night?
I believe it is, actually.
Or technically it would be Friday morning, I believe. Let me double check. That's the December 4th?
Yeah, it was in January.
December 4th is a Monday.
I think it's
January, my bad. Yeah, January 4th is a Thursday.
There we go.
So, I don't know if that's going to be on for us like early Friday morning or if it's going to be early Thursday morning. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to watch it.
Yeah, hopefully I can get a chance to watch it too, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. So, you can check out Mr. AJ on his Twitter at agens81. You can also follow me on Twitter at RealFNGame. Also, give us a like on the Facebook fan page, facebook.com/changing up the game, and give a little love to the guys over at the Elite Ringside Network page, facebook.com/ER Network 24/7. And like I said, many places where you can listen to us, guys, mainly here on Spreaker.com. AJ, thank you so much for joining me here today. Happy post-Thanksgiving. I'm hoping that the rest of your day is more eventful than what has happened to you this morning.
Hell yeah, dude. At noon, we got the Bruins and Penguins game. So I'm going to be watching that.
All right, well, guys, be sure to check out a lot of his updates on that. So, for Mr. AJ, I am Nate the Effing Great from The Game Changer. Thank you so much, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.